Hi, this is another episode of Blue Fire Faith, and I am Dr. Kimberlee Mendoza, and today I want to talk about where our treasure is where our hearts are. And I'm going to start with a couple stories. So my mother, when she got brain cancer, most people didn't really think anything of it at first. They actually thought that it was one of her new diets. My mom was notorious for going on one diet or another her entire life. Ironically, that is not what killed her. And so it's just, she spent all this time trying to lose weight, and it really, in the end, did not matter. It was not what took her, which just makes me, something to think about right then and there. But anyway, so she had moments where she didn't know where she was, and my dad had to go find her. And it wasn't until she passed out in her room and was stuck on her floor for hours until I believe one of my cousins came and they found her, that they realized something was seriously wrong. And so they took her to the doctors. Now, this is what always kind of makes me think, is that she got up, went to the doctors thinking she'd be home that night, but never came home again. Like that moment of leaving her house, she would be gone and never come back. That's always kind of stayed with me. There was this woman at my former place of employment back in San Diego who got in a golf cart to go across campus, and a truck, this guy like passed out or something in his truck, and he hit the golf cart and she was instantly killed. And I knew her. She was like somebody that I talked to many times. And that was just so bizarre to me that, she got in this golf cart, not thinking anything of it, and instantly she was gone. After that, I started really kissing my kids before they ever walked out of the house. I would tell them I loved them every day because I started realizing that we just don't know. We have no guarantees. And so right now I'm actually waiting on a scan to determine whether I have cancer or not. Both my parents died of cancer, and so they're taking it pretty seriously. I've had so many scans that I'm probably radioactive, and I'm waiting for my superhero power to come into being. But until that happens, I am just waiting on those final words from them to get the all clear or to say whether we got to go into something else. And so I have constantly been forcing myself to really think through this whole entire process of what that looks like. I take a shower every morning and I get ready and I go to my doctor's appointments, and there's always that reality that this could be it. This could be the last time I step foot into my home. And so I know this isn't the most positive or exciting thing to listen to, but I think it's something we need to think through is, where is our heart? What is most important to us? Are we saying I love you to people on a daily basis? We just don't know what can happen. You just don't know. And so I think about my mom, and so when she passed away, I got all of her jewelry, and all of her jewelry was, she collected tons of it. It's like a really big jewelry box. It's almost as tall as me. And in here, I would give anything to give it back to her if she was still here with us. But, in the end, a U-Haul does not follow a limousine. There's this movie, I watched it. I was going to go figure out what the title was before I started doing this video, and I forgot to do that. So I'm just going to say there's this movie. I believe it was with Amy Adams, I think, where she goes to Scotland, and they have this conversation that if there's a fire, what is the first thing that you would grab? And whatever the first thing you would grab would be the thing that is most important to you. And so she wants to test her fiance to see what he would grab, and he grabs his phone and his iPad, and doesn't even worry about her, that's the things that he grabs. And so my question to you is, what is most important to you? Think about it. Just stop and think for a second. If there was a fire right now, what is the thing that you would go grab? What is the thing that is most important to you? I mean, I'll be honest. For me, my laptop is very important to me because all my stories are on there. I've been writing books and novels forever. And if there was a fire, that's not something I could replace. I also would probably grab family photos off the walls because that's something I can't easily replace. And I actually had a flood that happened when I was newly married, that ruined all of my yearbooks from when I was young. And that just devastated me because those are things that I can replace. And so I think it's important to think about what is most important to you. What is the thing that if you could know tomorrow that you were going to pass away, what would you, who would you call? What would you do? What would be most important to you? There's this famous thing that's, live today like, you're dying tomorrow. And so the reality is that's a possibility. It's always a possibility. And like I said, it's not the most positive or exciting thing to listen to, but it is something that we need to think about. Like, we need to refocus. If we died today, do we know 100% where we're going? Or is it this mysterious thing that we haven't really dealt with? Or are we afraid of it? I can't tell you how long I was afraid of death. I have been afraid of death my entire life, so consumed with that fear of dying and not going to heaven or not knowing where I'm going to go or any of that. And so because of what I'm dealing with right now, I have forced myself to really think about that and really start to understand it. And because I forced myself to think about it, I'm actually at a really good, peaceful place that if it were to happen, I'm okay with that because I know I'm going to heaven. I know I will see my mother again. I'll see my grandparents again and my stepfather. Like, I'm okay with that because I know where I'm going when I die. And if you don't know where you're going when you die, you really need to have that conversation with God because, life is short, but eternity is long. And I've heard stories of people talk about what hell would be like. And the way it's described is you are on fire, but you can't get any water. Everything you've ever done wrong is completely played over. I mean, you've had guilt before, that feeling of guilt that just like destroys you. Imagine if that's all you could think about for the rest of eternity. It is not going to be a good place to be. And so I highly recommend that you deal with that. You come to know Jesus as your personal Savior so you are confident in where you're going when you die. And then I would say start to kiss your kids more. Start to call your parents more. You just don't know. I mean, I would give anything for 5 minutes with my mother. And I am so sad that I didn't call her more, that I didn't talk to her more, that I didn't do more with her. I cannot tell you how sad that makes me because I can't do anything about it now. It's that time is gone. It's over. And so if you have, somebody in your life that you're bitter about, stop. Like, make it right. You just don't know. Life, we just don't know. I hear too many stories of people were just, going here or there and something happened. And so I highly recommend that you make every moment count, both with God and with others. All right. Like I said, not the most joyous sermon for the day, but I gave you Matthew 6:19. And that is, 21, for where your treasure is, there your heart will he also be. And so, that is my verse for you today. If you like this, so exciting and uplifting video, please like it in the comments, share it with others that maybe need to hear this message. All right. God bless you. You have a great day. Bye-bye.